their diplomas, and that the principal is signing them. But I just wanted to make sure that if, in fact, that was the direction that the board felt we were going, that we all collectively were on the same page. So good news is that makes this June very straightforward and very simple. And then moving forward, one thing that I know both Jackie and Pat Scott did talk to me about was, however, as TVLA grows and as TVLA becomes more vibrant, I know they've already incorporated a student council, a student government. They've got some things they're really working on. They would not in any way be opposed to, a third graduation, so to speak. But they would propose, if that was to come to pass, a timeline that really worked more with their calendar, which would be more late summer, not to June, but they're right in the middle of finishing up a term, so their optimum time would really hit 4 or 5 weeks after that. And that would speak to more of what calendar that they're working on, because they're really a year-round program. They're running through the summer. So I just wanted to make sure that if I could help with that in any way, that we had an opportunity to make sure we're all on the same page, and the good news is we are. And I will clarify any now from this, anything that they need to know moving forward, so we can run with that in June.
And going back to what you were saying about the third graduation, if we, we'd have to rent the Sportsplex another night.
Well,
which goes back to talking if we had a mega campus and had our own,
Sure.
if you would, Sportsplex, we could accommodate it a lot easier.
Sure.
So.
Much smaller program ultimately if you were to do a third one, but good news is we're not looking at that for this spring or this June.
And I think this was immediate. This was April 11th, and I remember us talking about the June 2016 graduation. How is it going to be operating as far as the diplomas? There was an immediacy to have a discussion, and how the graduations went was Pat Scott got up there at the end, and all of her students walked, and she gave them their
Yeah, I remember. It was very nice.
So it wasn't separate like it had been in the past, and she's just shaking their hand. She gave them the diploma.
Right.
In the past, it's been the principals, counselors, assistant principals that give out the diplomas. So that's my recollection of this, is that it was an immediate discussion about June because people couldn't play nice together.
If I may, because it's germane to the handout regarding the SGA, I think it's really important to point out, sorry, losing it. And I was trying to look at the projected numbers. From my recollection, this is very, very close to the projected numbers. It's important because there was a lot of discussion about that, about the efficacy of those numbers. So now looking back, take this as a compliment, take this as a statement of fact, but it's important, I think, to note that. So I wanted to just say that this is probably even a better exercise than was initially thought. So I just want to compliment you again on doing this.
Well, thank you, Penny, for putting it together. I know one of the things that is always hard is dealing with, it's a hard decision, but if we don't know the potential outcome of the decision, it's even harder. If we know the potential outcome, whether it's a cost savings or whether it's a curricular change or whatever it is, it makes the decision, even a challenging one, a lot easier to make.
And to piggyback off what Tom said, as soon as I seen this number, I'm thinking I was going to pull Penny aside afterwards and go, because there was a lot of, these numbers are wrong, these numbers are wrong. Like a lot of audience and board was just saying these are wrong, and I was going to pull her aside and go, you were really close.
Well, and it should lend credibility and credence to the good work that the task force did in projecting those numbers and the work the board did to make some of those decisions. So, obviously, if we make mistakes, we should learn from them and work to not make them. But if we do well, then we should be able to use that information to help guide us in making similarly situated decisions moving forward. So
Well, I would like to see what was given to us before also, because I know that transportation was on there. And there was a $300 and some thousand savings for transportation. That was part of the sixth grade reorganization. And the two principals, we had no way of knowing when we were planning the sixth grade academy closure that it would be these two principals that would be retiring because one of them took a medical and was still on hold. So there were other factors. I'm going to go back to my notes, and this was April 11th.
Penny, was the transportation piece a part of this, the SGA piece? Or was it part of the elementary redistricting?
No, it was part of the sixth
Part
grade
of the sixth
academy
grade.
because Ron Miller spoke to it about it being
It
inaccurate.
was not part of my sixth grade academy.
It was part of the discussion,
It was
it was part of what was given to us. So whether you gave it to us or somebody else, it was part of what was given to us.
It was part of Sean's original sixth grade closing. When I redid the sixth grade closing here, it was a similar format and it did not include transportation, but I will pull it up. Because I could not accurately predict the transportation savings with the redistricting and all of those things. But I will.
So I'm looking at the numbers that, I've got the PowerPoint here. The projected total was 828,199. Net realized was 819,497.
And that didn't include any transportation, correct?
There's 137 in transportation.
Which one's that? That's the PowerPoint?
Yeah, it's PowerPoint.
Okay, what day is that?
One moment, let me go back to the file, maybe. February, oh, that's the old one. You're right, that's February 9 and 15.
Right, and that was originally Sean's, because when I started, I didn't review those numbers, I just used what was given to me
My
previously.
point is, I mean, that's,
So, the things that I projected at the end of last year or last year was closer to that, but I'll pull it.
okay.
Well, as we look at this document, if this is a helpful document, this is the kind of stuff that when we, sometimes you walk away and you look back at the administrative review, this is the sort of thing that as we build on this, thank you for your comments in the areas you want to see fleshed out. Anything else that you think anybody else needs to see, we can definitely update or pull these numbers together, because the more pieces of information, it's like a jigsaw. The more pieces you have, the more it starts to make a full picture. You starts to come together and help with that charting of the roadmap.
It's probably coincidental that even though the transportation may have been in a previous one, but the VCTC, to eliminate the VCTCs were not done until late July or early August of this year. And the co-teacher special ed, it's probably just coincidental that those two items that were actually decided upon to eliminate or to eliminate, they would have that VCTC would have went to another building to service those.
No, we
They
didn't
were
move,
not?
we didn't move
No,
the
it was
BCTC
gonna
from
be a
six
cut.
to- It was gonna be a cut,
Oh,
and the
okay.
co-teacher was a cut.
Yeah, those were
Okay.
reductions.
Sorry.
Because Renee and I cut those because
Okay.
we went through.
But I think more of a bigger part of the picture, we know Kennedy's needs, but I have to believe that most of our buildings have substantial needs. Roofs and boilers and pipes and doors and, you have it. So where's the priority list and how much of a need do each of the buildings have so that we can make an informed decision? And again, where's the plan to put together and show that we have enough space at Truman and the kids are safe? And I don't care what anybody says, if you put kids in a hallway and there's no windows in that classroom, where's the fire escape? Everybody says the fire marshal signed off on it. Just because they signed off on it doesn't mean that it's not a safety issue. And fortunately, we've not had an issue, but it could become an issue if we bring the number of students back that we had at one point there at combined both schools. If you walk the building, there's two hallways that those classrooms have no windows. So it's if there's a fire right at those areas, they can't get to the access doors, and they have no access in their room.
So they have a longer point of egress because there's no outside door. Takes them longer to get to the nearest thing.
Here's what it looks like. There's classrooms here,
Right.
and they have, this is the hallway, there's other classrooms here, but the main doors are right here and here.
Right.
So if we have a fire that the students can't get down here to a main door, or here, have them forbid it be in the hallway, what's the plan? Because they can't go out a window, and they
True.
can't go in the ceiling.
True.
What are the students doing in the hallway? Is that, you're saying it's a classroom? Or classrooms?
No, there's classrooms, some of the interior classrooms don't have windows, and they open only onto the hall.
But that's been like that for,
Since it opened.
It has been,
I
but
worked
the more
there.
students you put in there, the more potential that it could be a problem.
what's the
And not
student
just
number?
with fire, but with safety.
And what's this, or somebody tell me what the student number is at Truman?
900 kids right now.
$900.
Yeah, it's right around there.
And there's 900 kids at Kennedy, roughly 920, plus the 950 at both buildings, but, I mean, any given day it could be 920.
And what's the capacity of Truman?
I think I saw, it said like 2,100 somewhere.
2,100 is the number I was,
I've got it somewhere.
And again, that might be building capacity, but what's functional
I think that was
capacity?
the function.